So my journey with Lars began many, many years back. So all the people who are coming here are my friends and my family. I started my journey with him in Denmark. He had created this beautiful conference where I reached. So I was supposed to reach at the airport, then take a bus, and then reach wherever it was. The place where I reached was beautiful. The food that he had created over there was even better. The kind of ambience that he had created over there was outstanding. But you know what stood out the most? This man transforms the stage when he stands on the stage. And when he stands on the stage, he just is a different person. I've never seen anyone who can make people laugh and teach them. I have a specialty. I make people cry and teach them. People lie down on the floor and they roll with buckets full of water flowing from their eyes. So all the water retention in their body just goes off. But Lars is someone who will make you laugh and get his point across. And I was actually maybe falling asleep just before that. I don't know who the speaker was, but when he came along, there was no way I could have slept or done anything. Not, you remember sleeping with eyes open? You can't close your eyes when you're sleeping in conferences. So you keep your eyes open and sometimes you sleep. And every time I saw him, he had this ability to bring a smile on my face. I don't think he knows this, but he's a very important part of my life. And why is he important? When you see someone doing such amazing work, they become your role models. The way he had collected Denmark together, the way he has lovingly held the whole community together, made me believe that it was possible to create such a community elsewhere in another part of the globe and connect in the way that he was connecting. It's not only that he makes you laugh. He's not a comedian. He makes you understand. He takes you to the depths of your being with that laughter. People in the audience admire him. They love him, and they'll be ready to die for him, and they'll be ready to do anything for him. I think this goes back for about 10 years now, if I'm not mistaken. And I've seen Lars grow in his space, and I've grown in my space. From a person who I admired to being a colleague, to being someone who could create this today. And I am so grateful to Lars for agreeing and taking this invitation. Guys, you have no idea how lucky you are. I know you have an idea how lucky you are, but really you have no idea how lucky you are, because if I had to meet any one of them, I had to travel. I had to take flights, buses, and then meet. But because they are my friends, they're ready to meet you over in split seconds. And that's technology. Thank you so much, Lars, for being here. I am very grateful. The Indian in me meets the Denmark person over there. And let me put it like this.
Great. Thank you very much, Anu.
I have one more thing to say. And that one more thing is, guys, you don't know this, but his mom is one of the best actresses in Denmark. He has been an actor by profession, and his brother is an actor by profession. And his mother is very, very fond of India, and he does have an Indian connect. And his Indian connect is me. His mom's Indian connect is something else. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Welcome.
in 1980, I went to India. I went to Ahmedabad because there was a school for puppet theater and shadow theater and ballet dancing in Ahmedabad. So I went there with my mother and my brother, and we had some magical days in Ahmedabad. And since then, I feel like I'm so connected with the Indian people. I love India. And I felt it was so unfortunate when you had the conference in Mumbai that I couldn't go. So I really hope I sometime in the future that we will manage to reopen the world, and maybe once eventually I will arrive in India and
That will be very, very nice. I take
create
you on that. Thank you.
a lot of interesting stuff.
Absolutely.
And and one of my interesting interests is so my whole personal journey started 23 years ago with breath work, where what we call emotional releasing breath work, where you really find trauma and you go into the trauma and you breathe connected breath into the trauma to release the trauma. And my whole journey into the breath work was just such a relief for me, because I was so full of shit. I had been an actor for 10 years. It did not fulfill me. I had been a businessman for 10 years. It did not fulfill me. And then I thought I have to do something about my life. And as a CEO, I started my journey with breathwork, and it started a transformation in my life. I had gone to a psychologist for 6 years, and I had learned a lot about my personal story, but I was still the same nasty, angry, unloving wreck. And then I met breathwork, and suddenly I popped. And for me, the popping was crying. I probably would love one of Arno's workshops, because I hadn't cried for 20 years. And then I did a breathwork session and I cried for like 20 minutes. And it was a revelation for me. I felt the breathworker working with me was loving me unconditionally. I felt loved. And through her love for me, I could feel my father's love. I could feel my mother's love. I could feel the love for the rest of the world, but I could only touch it. I couldn't keep it. So all the time I'm working on discovering love for you, for my family, discovering love for everything, and letting go of more and more of my Udins. Do you use the expression Udins?
Yes.
And so I have become the Udin hunter #1 in Denmark. So I'm constantly looking for Udins all around. And every time I see Udin, I want to get my fingers into that person and do something about it. But I don't do it. I don't do it. I think in order to be a good therapist, you have to be excited to help people. And I have learned to be, even if I'm excited to help people, I'm also excited to not help people. I'm relaxed around the fact that there's millions of people who don't want help. So I'm focused on you who are now together with me, who wants to move, who wants to change, who wants to grow, who wants to connect. And then after 5 years with breathwork, I bumped into thought field therapy, emotional freedom techniques, tapping, and where breathwork is like anything can happen. You suddenly got a rifle with a laser sight, so I could really find the Udins and heal the Udins. And for me, the connection, because at the same time I met thought field therapy and tapping and EFT, I met the new medicine. And I was invited to a lecture about the new medicine. And first I thought, I don't want to hear anything about the new medicine. So what is the meaning of medicine? Do you know that? What is the meaning of medicine? If you're awake, if you know how to use the keyboard, type in to the chat box, what is the meaning of medicine? And I won't give you the answer until I have at least 5 suggestions of what is medicine. Think about it, dear loving friends. What is medicine? The substance which helps to restore health. Substance, yes. Money machine. I love that one. Medicine is something which helps your body to heal. Medicine is used to cure disease. Yeah. Helps symptomatic relief. Medicine heals. Now I will tell you what is medicine according to the Encyclopedia Britannica. Medicine is the art of healing. That is the primary meaning of medicine. It's the art of healing. The secondary or third meaning of medicine is a synthetic substance or natural substance that you can eat or inject. But the root, the original meaning of medicine is art of healing. And Dr. Nivedita Patil wrote it to us all, the art of healing. And for me to understand that, I went to a lecture not about pills, but I went to a lecture about the new medicine, the new art of healing. That made me interested. And the art of healing, it showed me something that was so interesting to me, because it showed me this. And I don't know if you have seen it before, but it's my version of the 2 phases. I have done the blue color here because the active phase, I call that the stress phase. I call it the cold phase, because many people, when they are active in the stress, they get cold hands and cold feet. So when people come to me and say, oh, I suffer from cold feet, I say, no, you suffer from lots of Udins. And can it be cured? Yes, it can be cured, because I used to have cold hands and cold feet. And it was only because of one thing. I was full of trauma and triggers and Udins and conflict shocks. I was so full of it. And now I'm less full of it. And I have warm hands, I have warm feet, and I sleep better at night. I also slept good before, but I slept like a log. I was like, I went to sleep and I was unconscious for 8 hours, and then the clock woke me up. Now I go to sleep and I wake up after 6 hours and I'm like, I want to run out of bed and enjoy life. So that was the active phase. I painted it blue because it's a cold phase. Then the red phase here, I call that the hot phase, because many people get hot when they go into regeneration. And that's why I painted it red. And then the yellow phase, I call that the pissing phase, because you have to release a lot of stuff. And I always say, when we have a workshop, we measure the quality of the workshop by the amount of toilet paper we have used. I remember when I went to India, they had no toilet paper. So I had to go down And I think it was like a gazillion rupees for one roll of toilet paper. I was in shock. The price of one roll of toilet paper was like 10 rolls of toilet paper in Denmark. I was in shock, but I had to have my toilet paper. And I'm left-handed. I'm a left-handed person, so I use my left hand for everything. And in India, it's a disaster. It's a nightmare. So every time I wanted to do something, you know, all the Indian people, they ran. Ah! Lars is coming with his left hand. So it's a big problem. Don't use your left hand. You know, I had to tie it into my belt so I could use my right hand instead. And so I saw this in 2002. I met tapping and I met this model, and I realized the reason for all problems is number 2, unions and triggers. And I realized we could heal all unions with tapping. So I thought, wow, let's do some tapping and heal all disease. And now 18 years later, how is it going with changing the world and teaching this to everybody? Not very well, I must admit. So yeah, it's just really interesting in how interesting, you know, how many people talk about this model without knowing what it is. So I have a lot of people who are really, really, really good at talking about 2 phases, not knowing about the 2 phases. And I was going to tell you about how to boost your immune system. So the first thing you have to know to boost your immune system is if you are in the active phase or the regeneration phase, you are not in an optimal space. You have to be either in number 1 or we call it number 9. So if you're not in an optimal state where you effortlessly go into stress, into regeneration, into stress, into regeneration, then you're having a weak immune system. And the problem is, as soon as I say, oh, and you realize, oh, I'm in one of the phases, I have a weak immune system, boom, then we have a new problem. So the constant problem we have is the language we use towards ourselves, the language we use towards others is a huge problem, because the language I use with myself and the language I use to others is a basic element in how we understand our immune system, because our language, our inner self-talk, other people's talk about us. So one of the things I'm training is talking about nicely about everybody's habits, eating habits, exercising habits, meditation habits, sleeping habits, all kinds of habits. Because if I'm not talking nicely about them, all their habits, or what's going on, then I'm consciously or unconsciously putting bad energy in that direction. So now I'm in a dilemma. There are some shitheads out there. So can I say that somebody are stupid and terrible and bad? Yes, I can, but I have to be very conscious about it. And I have to be very conscious that every time I say somebody is stupid, I'm pointing back at myself. Every time I say somebody is a fraud, I'm pointing back at myself. Are somebody frauds? Yes, but what I want to do is I want to teach myself what is my truth. And what I believe is we have to learn how do I use a good language with myself, about myself. How do I use a good and kind language with others and help others use a good language with themselves and to themselves? So I'm always challenged here, because when I do therapy, if I'm too kind, I don't push people into the union. If I'm too terrible, I leave people in shock. So I have to find a way to do I have to be gentle around it. I have to be gentle around my language, but I also have to be a good therapist. I need to be honest. I work with psychotherapy. I work with psychosomatic therapy, how the mind, the feelings, and the body is interconnected. That's my passion. So the first step in boosting your immune system is to learn your language, learn about other people's language, and then get relaxed about it. So, because if you want to force yourself into using nice language like that, you risk that you're using nice language on the surface, but underneath, there's all this shit going on. So we have to slowly let the shit come off, work with the shit, and let go of the shit, and slowly improve our language while we understand what's going on underneath. Because we are a huge bowl of unconscious behavior, of all unconscious habits. So we need to let all these habits come up, understand them, and let go of them. If we fight them, I believe we have lost. So in Denmark, it's very interesting. They're talking about the coronavirus in almost all articles about the coronavirus, and it's thousands and thousands and thousands of articles. They write this dangerous, terrible virus. So all the journalists are constantly programming us to believe that this harmless virus is dangerous. And what happens when we believe something is dangerous? If we even think it's deadly, because some journalists write this dangerous and deadly. Where does deadly go into the body? Alveoles of the lungs. Ta-da! So now we are having a breathing problem, and then we scare the shit out of everybody, and then we have more than a breathing problem. So I'm so curious what will happen, because the changes in the alveoli, the interesting change, the regeneration will not happen until the danger is gone. So I'm looking so much forward to when we are back to normal and everybody are feeling safe and everybody are feeling great, and then everybody gets sick. How can this happen? How can this happen that now everything is great and then they get sick? We have an explanation for that, but will they listen to us? So the first thing is about language. My language to myself, my language to others. How do I experience other people's language? So what I am doing now is, when people criticize my food, I tell people, please make a prayer for my food instead of criticism. Because my food needs love. And it's not only my love, it also needs your love. And I will love your food as well. Even though it's not my choice, I will send love and light to your food. We need to love each other's food. And then I read the other day that one of the ways that the British have controlled the Indians is by starving them. My mind blew up in what it was in Bengal, some Bengal province, that they stopped the food to come to the people, and lots of people died from starvation. And I'm like, what? And then I thought about one of the things: 200,000 people have died from coronavirus in the world since the 1st of January. Every day, 18,000 children die from starvation. Every day, 18,000 children die from starvation, which could be easily helped if we did not let them starve, like the British let the Indians starve somewhere in India, somewhere around, I don't know, 100 years ago. It's so interesting. So now we spend all this money for something that is not dangerous. But if we think it's dangerous, it's more dangerous. If we talk about it like it was dangerous, it's more dangerous. So what more can I do to boost my immune system? So what I do is I do the tapping. And the exercise I just saw you, maybe you noticed, maybe you were just listening to me talking. Maybe you saw what I did. I tapped the sides of my hands together. And I do this 10 times. And I massage up here 10 times around. And maybe you have heard this is the correction for polarity reversal, but it's also the easiest way you can boost your immune system on a regular basis. So all the people I meet, I tell them every hour, you tap your hands together like this 10 times, and you massage your sore spot up here. If it's not sore, it's okay. You massage up here 10 times. And you do that every hour. That will immediately boost your immune system. First of all, we can measure, when we do that exercise, we can measure that there is more energy in your meridians. I don't know if meridians are popular in India, but they're very popular in Denmark. And if you can tell somebody that we can take 2 electrodes on each end of a meridian, and we can do this exercise, and then we can see how the amps and the volts go up, and you can concretely measure that you have more measurable energy in your meridians, then people understand, okay, I will do this exercise. And every time I do this exercise, I know this is good for me. I'm doing something good for myself. Now I massage here, I'm doing something good for myself. And if I every hour understand I'm doing something good for myself, this is a boost. It's a mini boost, but it's a boost. And you know, you have to stand up every hour. So every hour we stand up and we walk to the toilet. And on the way to the toilet, we just do like this and we massage here. So I want to spread an epidemic in India. I want, next time I come to India, I want all Indians to go around tapping like this. And I'm working on it in Denmark, and it's slowly spreading. And in the last Olympic Games, you did see some of the Olympic participants would tap the side of their hands or massage here before they went into competition, because it will improve the competition level. The more power you have in the system, the better you can perform. The more power you believe you have, the more power you have. So when we talk about speaking nice to ourselves, when we talk about, I call this correcting the reverse polarity. I know very well that many English-speaking people call it correcting psychological reversal. But who wants to be psychological reverse? Nobody. So for me, in Denmark, I call it polarity reversal. And because it's much easier to explain that in your body, you have 26 meridians and they're polarized plus, minus, like 26 battery packs. And when you have a torch and a battery turns the wrong way, what happens to the torch? No light. So when you do this exercise, you turn the batteries the right way, and then there's light on the torch. And when there's light in the torch, when your batteries are turned the correct way in your body, then you have more energy to heal yourself. And the more energy you believe you have to heal yourself, the more you heal yourself. Then I have been talking, then we have been talking to many specialists in food. And so what many people believe is a secret to boost your immune system is vitamin C. And and for I have been working with a lot of people with low immune defense, especially people on chemotherapy. Um, I work with a lot of cancer patients, and for me, the best thing I can recommend is vitamin C. And we used to recommend intravenous vitamin C. You have a bottle with vitamin C solution. Usually it's 75 grams, and you get it into your arm, and it takes 2-3 hours to get 75 grams. What is the problem with getting intravenous vitamin C? The first problem is expensive, and in Denmark, it's relatively difficult to find places where you can get it. So sometimes you have to drive very far and expensive to do it. The second thing is the half time, the time it takes for the amount of vitamin C you have absorbed in your body to go into half is 2 hours. So if you get 75 milliliters of vitamin C, then after 2 hours, you have only 40 or 38 grams of vitamin C left. After 2 hours, you have only 20 grams left. After 6 hours, you have only 10 grams left. After 8 hours, you have only 5 grams. So if you get 75 grams once a week, after 1 week, there's nothing left. So we now recommend that you get liposomal vitamin C. And I don't know if you have access in India to liposomal vitamin C. It's fat suspended vitamin C. And the intravenous vitamin C, you can absorb about 90%. With liposomal vitamin C, which you can eat, you can absorb up to 97, 98%. So the liposomal, the fat suspended vitamin C, is much easier absorbed into the body. And then if you are sick, you take 2 grams every hour. So you constantly have between 1 and 2 grams of vitamin C in your body, except at night when you sleep, the levels go down, but then you go up next day. So 1 gram every hour, 2 grams every hour, depending on how sick you are. And that will actually keep your relative level of vitamin C much higher than if you have 75 grams every 3-4 days. So we know vitamin C, high dosage, if you're sick, if you have immune deficiencies, it's very interesting. My own wife have been having cancer, and I don't believe she would have been alive today if we had not had vitamin C. And then to meet all the experts, the doctors claiming you're wasting your money, because I could see and my wife could feel that when we went, and that at that time we didn't have liposomal vitamin C, we only had the intravenous version. I could see, when I picked her up, she was so much happier. She felt alive. She felt energized. She felt good. And when you feel good, what happens to your immune system? If you feel good, what happens to your hope? What happens to your placebo effect? What happens to life when you feel good? A lot of good things happen. So liposomal vitamin C is impossible to get hold of right now in Denmark. It's so loud. You have to make your own factory. It's so difficult. So you can take all kinds of vitamin C, but remember, it's better to take it 3 times a day than once a day. Spread your intake of vitamin C over the day because it goes out really quick from the body. On the other hand, it's so interesting with vitamin D. What foods would you recommend? Broccoli. Can you see it's green? Maybe you can see it's green. I recommend broccoli. that is a very high dosage of vitamin C. So I don't know if you can get broccoli. Can you get broccoli in India? Maybe you can. Yeah, you can get broccoli. Broccoli, especially the stem in raw form, is really, really good if you juice it, or I blend it. Um, but you know, all the citrus fruits, they are not so high in vitamin C. But when I eat oranges and lemons and grapes, I get so happy. So I'm sure the vitamin C from foods which make me more happy is very important. So that's, you know, so my best recommendation is broccoli. That's my safe choice. I think broccoli has about 10 times as much vitamin C as an orange. So great. So that's so, but also, and I, you know, I remember when I was in India, what we tend to try and to do is to eat raw food in Denmark. But I remember when I ate raw vegetables in India, I sincerely got a very interesting running stomach. And then I learned a secret trick. I don't know if I remember it right. I took a banana and I removed the black stuff inside of the banana, and I just ate the yellow stuff on the outside of the banana, and it kind of stopped my diarrhea. So that was a good Indian trick I learned. So so if you can make your own vegetables, and if you have ways of cleaning your vegetables in a safe way, you know, it's good to see what kind, you know, if you can get it raw. But otherwise, I think broccoli actually has quite some vitamin C, even if it's lightly cooked. But I would cook it very, very, very little, the broccoli. And then, of course, oranges are better because I believe you can have all the citrus fruit without cooking it. Kiwi, if you have that, is also good for vitamin C. So then there is something you need to add to the vitamin C to get full value. And to get full value from your vitamin C, you need to have vitamin D3. And vitamin D3 is so interesting because vitamin C is halved in 2 hours. Vitamin D3 is halved in 2 weeks. So if you take an enormous amount of vitamin D3 every 2 weeks, you're safe, because then you don't need to take any vitamin D until in 2 weeks. And you can also get liposomal fat suspended vitamin D3. An even better way to get vitamin D3 is to go out in the sun. So if you want to have your skin to make vitamin D3, you need to go out in the sun. You need to take out your contact lenses. You need to take off your sunglasses. You need to make your eyes available to the sun without any protection, because the sun will send photons into your eyes. And the photons, 75% of all the photons coming into your body comes through your eyes. And these photons will go into your body. And when the photons go into your body, they will send a signal out to the skin that now you have to make vitamin D3. And in Denmark, it's very interesting. The largest safe amount of vitamin D3 you can buy in the pharmacy is 400 international units. If you go out naked, and I love sunbathing naked, and you don't, and I forgot to tell you, you cannot wear sunscreen. No sunscreen. Sunscreen will block your body from the ability to produce vitamin D. So no sunscreen. So you go out in the middle of the day, half an hour, no sunglasses, no contact lenses, no glasses, you get your body to produce vitamin D3, and the maximum amount which is safe to eat from the pharmacy is 400 units. In half an hour, your own body will make at least 20,000 units of vitamin D. So why can't we have higher dosage in the pharmacy? I don't know. When I work with vitamin D3, when people have serious depletion in vitamin D, we use up to 75,000 international units of D3. So we use massive dosages only for 2-3 days, but that can really change the chance for the person to regenerate and get well. So I don't know how safe it is to sunbathe naked without sunscreen and sunglasses in India, but maybe you'll have to find a secret rooftop or something. So otherwise you'll have to get it as a supplement. So
Lars, just to let you know, most of the Indians are low in vitamin D. And even though we have so much of sun, and even though a lot of us are actually constantly out there, but most of us don't have the vitamin D, we need to substitute it with taking certain supplements, even though we have sun. Just to let you know. Thank you.
So you're just, making me, it's important with this vitamin D. So good, thanks. But so the vitamin D is important for the vitamin C. And then if you're old like me, you also have to think about zinc. So then you also need some zinc, because the zinc will also help to boost your immune system. And then there's a ton of other things, but this is general C, D, and zinc that will help a lot of people on a general basis. In Denmark, we made a research, and if we would give all Danish people 1 gram of vitamin C every day for a year, we would take down the amount of sick people by 30% in Denmark by giving them 1 gram of vitamin C per day. And the price, if the government decided that everybody should have that for free, the price for 1 gram per day would be, I think it's like 3 cents per person. Dollar, cent, 3 cents. I don't know what it is in rupees. It's like the amount it would cost to give all Danish people free vitamin C compared to what it would save in the medical system is just crazy. But nobody makes money on vitamin C. So what we have learned is that the most important thing you need to boost in order to boost your immune system, and you have to understand that we don't believe there is an immune system. There's something we call the immune system, which is a collection of lots of factors. And with the coronavirus, what we have learned is that what is the most important thing to see how the body really fast heals the coronavirus is people with very healthy, active levels of immunoglobulin A. And the population with the most immunoglobulin A is the children. It's what we call the non-specific immunoglobulin. So what you want is you want to have lots of active immunoglobulin A. And one of my friends, Dawson Church, you probably heard of him. He's the researcher in clinical EFT, and he has collected more than 100 scientific studies around EFT and tapping and thought field therapy. And Dawson Church has done a study with immunoglobulin A. There's immunoglobulin A and immunoglobulin M. And M is memory. That's when you have had a disease and you start to say, we can find antibodies because after you have the disease, the body creates immunoglobulin M. So the body, when it sees the disease again, the M version of the immunoglobulin remembers the disease and can easily take care of it when it comes again. But that is not the fact with this coronavirus. Here we much better like immunoglobulin A. And Dawson Church, he took a group of people and he did a 2-day workshop with meditation and tapping. And he measured the immunoglobulin A before the workshop and after the workshop. And the level of immunoglobulin A rose an average of 26% in the participants in the workshop. So if you know how to tap and use the tapping exercises on a regular basis in order to release stress, then you are on a really strong path to have extra immunoglobulin A. And when you have a lot of immunoglobulin A, then that will mean that you have extra power to assimilate, understand, accept any virus. It's very interesting because actually in MetaHealth, we don't believe a virus exists. So what is a virus? A virus is an energy form, and this energy form can change from a virus to a bacteria to a fungus. And I don't know, have you had Krista Cranach on your speak and talk about how a virus becomes a bacteria and how a bacteria becomes the fungus and how the fungus become the virus?
Not still, I will be contacting her.
So get Christina to tell you about how this works together. My mind exploded when she told me the theory about it. It's really, really super interesting. So if there's no virus, what is it then? It's an energy that goes into the tissue to help the tissue regenerate. So even if we say there is no virus because you cannot take a picture of it, it's not a physical form, I believe we can still say there is an energy form we can call a virus. And what we know about a virus is you cannot treat it. You cannot treat a virus. The only thing you can do is wait and let the body heal itself. So we have now got new numbers here in Denmark, and it shows that all the people who have gotten treatment have less chance of getting well when they had a treatment than with the people who had gotten no treatment. So the best treatment for people with coronavirus in Denmark is loving care, oxygen, and maybe a respirator, a breathing apparatus. But they have now stopped using do you call it a respirator?
We call it a ventilator.
A ventilator. So now they're stopping the use of ventilators because it's very bad for the lungs. So one of my students, he is producing ventilators, and they were just ramping up production, but now the hospitals say we don't need more ventilators, we need more oxygen. So loving care, nurses and doctors and people loving caring, and oxygen. That is what get people through the coronavirus. And as you know, the coronavirus is in the bronchial tissue and it's the kidney collecting tubules. So it's so important that people feel connected, they feel at home, they feel safe. I hope you have heard this a gazillion times, but this is the essence of healing the coronavirus. That is healing the kidney collecting tubules. When you heal that, the problem with the disease is less. Can you still die from it? Yes, you can. So what I say, what treatment can you do? You cannot put synthetics into a body and help it to heal faster. To develop an efficient virus inhibitor like we have done with HIV will take 5, 10, 15 years. It will not be done in a couple of months by some frantic people in a laboratory. I promise you. So, and these viruses are mutating all the time. That's the explanation for you can't find them. Because when you look, when you can't find it, it must be mutated. Or maybe it's not there. But don't tell this to anyone. If you tell anyone that viruses don't exist, they will think you are nuts. So don't say it to anyone. So we still accept there's something we can call a virus. It's an energy, and we don't teach it. We don't treat it. We take care of it. If the regeneration gets too strong, if you get too far down, if you are almost dying, we stress the body. You know, we put in stress hormones to put the body into stress to move out of too strong regeneration. It could be any kind of stress hormone we inject into the body to help the body survive a too strong regeneration phase. What I wanted to do is I wanted to teach all the nurses sitting in intensive cares to tap on the side of the hand and tap on the gamut spot. We have changed the name for the gamut spot in Denmark. We call it the miracle spot. So you tap on the side of the hand and you tap here. And I have so many intensive care nurses I've taught now that when they sit with the patients and they start to be a little nervous or a little panicked, they just hold their hand and they tap on the side of the hand and they tap on the miracle spot, and the patient, they get calm. And it's so simple. It's too simple and it's too cheap. And you can do it with gloves. You don't have to touch the skin. The skin is better, I believe that. But even if you are touching with gloves and tap here, and the patients ask, what are you doing? And I have instructed my nurses to say, I'm just holding your hand. And so often the patient said, no, you're not just holding my hand. You're doing something special, aren't you? And we are doing something. We are activating, we are turning the batteries in the meridians, and then we are tapping on endocrine number 3, the miracle spot. And I can tell you, I found a Chinese medical school which also call this spot the miracle spot. So I thought, if there's one Chinese acupuncture school that calls this the miracle spot, I will call it the miracle spot. So this is the miracle spot. So I'm trying to, these are simple things. We could try it out in the hospitals. It doesn't cost any money. The nurses are sitting, at every intensive care bed in Denmark, there's a nurse 24/7. And yeah, we don't have so many people in intensive care right now because we have been isolated, and the Danish people were just too good at following orders, so nobody got sick. And suddenly now too few are getting sick. How can how can that be a problem? That can be a problem because then we have a second wave. So it's all statistics and numbers and you go crazy. So then I laugh a lot. That's also a good way to boost my immune system. And then every morning at 7 o'clock Danish time, I go online and I tap together with all my friends. And we tap together, and every day I find out what is my biggest challenge today, and I talk about it, and then we tap a few rounds, and then I'm ready to go into my day. I also do a longer meditation alone, and today I have saved my meditation for you. And now, it's ancient late for you guys, and I'll put you all to sleep. I'll put you into a coma of healing and boosting your immunoglobulin A, like, to insane heights with this meditation. It's a guided meditation. And it's so interesting that I, if you space out. Don't struggle following my instructions. Expect to get dissolved. The more you vanish, the more you disappear, the more everything is in the void, the better. The more you struggle to follow what I'm telling you, the worse. But that's okay. Sometimes you just have to work a little on dissolving yourself, and that's okay. So, so I will guide you, and maybe you will fall asleep. Maybe, maybe you will start cleaning afterwards. I don't know what will go to happen, but I can guarantee you one thing, that we have measured heart rate variability, brain waves, um, skin conducting. We have measured a lot of the different hormonals, that we say all the good hormones will rise with this meditation, all the bad hormones will go down with this meditation. To do this meditation, I need you to be in a place where you're not getting too disturbed. I will need you to think of a place you love. Do you have a place you love? It doesn't need to be a real place. It could be a fantasy place, but I do need a place you love. So think about, do I have a place? And my favorite place is my grandparents' lawn, where I used to play when I was a child. And the best thing I could do was to lie on a blanket, and then the others would put 200 blankets on top of me. So I would lie there completely flat under a heavy load of blankets on top. In the summer, sweating like hell, not being able to breathe, but there I felt safe and loved. So think about a place you love. It could be a real place, it could be a fantasy place. Then I want you, so the best way for me to sit is not to lean back towards something. And the only reason I know that is because I spend a lot of time meditating with electrodes on my head. So you have to find a good way to sit. And so sit comfortably, sit with your spine straight. You can have your feet on the ground or underneath you, what feels best. If you can, I would like you to have your hands like this, with your palms up on your legs. And if you can, you will now stand up and sit down. And we do it 2 more times. Stand up and sit down. And 1 more time, stand up and sit down. And if you know a little about Islamic tradition, they start all their meditation by standing up and sitting down 3 times. A little secret Islamic trick we have entered into this. So now listen to the sounds around you. Notice the sounds around you. Maybe there are cars, people, noises, animals. Let go of the sounds. Notice your thinking. Let go of your thoughts like clouds gliding by on the sky. Notice your physical sensations and your emotions, and let go of looking into them. Let it be. Breathe in and out through the nose. Slow down your breathing. Deep, noiseless breath through the nose. Deep and slow through the nose. Let your tongue relax on the bottom of your mouth. There's an empty space behind your eyes. Deep, silent breath through the nose. The tongue relaxes on the bottom of the mouth. There's an empty space behind your eyes. Now imagine your growing roots. Slowly, deep breath through the nose. Tongue is relaxed on the bottom of the mouth. There's an empty space behind your eyes. The roots grow bigger and bigger into the earth. And the roots begin to receive unconditional love and unconditional support. Feel the love and support flowing up into your body. Now imagine you begin to breathe in and out through the heart or the heart chakra. Slow, deep breathing in and out through the heart. Think of a place you love and start sending unconditional love to that place. Slow, deep breath. Tongue is relaxed. There's an empty space behind your eyes. Imagine the flow of unconditional love to your place you love goes stronger and stronger. And the place you love gets completely filled with your unconditional love. The place you love is so full that it explodes with love into the whole universe, into all dimensions, vibrations, atoms. Everything is saturated with your love. Slowly put your focus back to the place you love and imagine it starts reflecting your love back to you. Maybe your place even moves inside your own body. And you're filled with your own unconditional love, mixing with the unconditional love and unconditional support from the earth. Deep, slow breath. Tongue is relaxed on the bottom of your mouth. there's an empty space behind your eyes. Now imagine that whiter than white light come into your body from above. Cosmic white light fills your body and mixes with the unconditional love from the earth and yourself, and the unconditional support from the earth. Keep filling yourself until you are flowing over. And the space between us is filled with love, support, and bright white light. If you are completely full of love, support, and light, and you want to share this energy, think about whom or who or what you want to share this energy with now. Deep, silent breath. Tongue relaxed. Empty space behind the eyes. Thank you for letting me share this energy with those I love. Grateful for this space for me. Grateful for this group of people. On the next 3 breaths, slowly come back to the room. Move your tongue around the mouth and the other way around. Feel your hands and your feet. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. See a surface, see the color and structure. See another surface, see the color and structure. And maybe if you want or need, stretch your body. And tap along with me. Even though I gave myself this moment, I love and accept myself. Even though I gave myself this peace and quiet, I love and accept myself. Massage on the chest. Even though I gave myself this moment, I love and accept myself. Even though I gave myself this peace and quiet, I love and accept myself. Top of the head, gently. This peace and quiet. Inside of the eyes, this peace and quiet. Outside of the eyes, this peace and quiet. Under the eyes, this peace and quiet. Under the nose, this peace. Under the mouth, I gave it to myself. Down here on the collarbone, take a deep breath. I gave it to myself, and I can do it again. Under the arms, this peace and quiet. Under the rib cage, this peace and quiet. And relax your arms. So we have a young man attending there from South Africa.
Thank you. That was brilliant.
Hello.
I'm going to open the forum for questions.
Yeah, great.
Sharing. So we'll have questions, sharing, and then we'll have tarot card reading and angel card reading. How about going it the other way around? Because the mood is so nice. Binaifur, why not do the reading now and then let's go in for everything together? Yeah?
Sorry, Anu, because I was doing the meditation, I didn't keep the cards ready.
Okay,
I thought
fine.
I'll have that 10
No,
minutes.
no problem, no
Sorry.
problem. No problem. So we just go in for,
Yeah,
so
please.
this is what we do. You ask for something, you can share, you can ask a question, you can share, or you can give something. So you can use all 3 elements to when I unmute you. So Archana, please go ahead.
Absolutely relaxing. I think I dozed off. I really think I dozed off. Thank you. Really, thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Lucille, would you like to share?
I just like to say thank you. It's wonderful to see you, and I'm feeling so relaxed. And it was nice to share it with my son, Luke.
Aw, so nice. Hi, Kusum. Would you like to share? Thank you. Would you like to share? Can't hear you.
I said first time, this is the second time, first time you had done it same in the video. So it is a very nice experience, very relaxing, and it calms your entire body. So it's really, really very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Ashish, would you like to share? Ashish, would you like to share?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm audible?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. And the meditation was amazing. And right now I feel internally relaxed. There is no stress right now. I feel totally relaxed. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, that's all thanks to Lars. Very nice.
Yes.
Kristen, would you like to share something?
Yes, I am so lucky. So I do this several times a week together with Lars because I follow him at his Facebook. So we do this meditation together, together with a lot of other people. And it is the most wonderful way to start the day. So again, thank you, Lars.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it very much.
So beautiful. Aarti, would you like to share?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Lars. Thank you so much for the meditation. I think I've got recharged again. And once again, my dog is sleeping. Meditation, even she's gone off to sleep.
Wow.
I think she's not sleeping. So thank you very much. And even the session that you discussed was very nice. Especially, I loved the language part that you discussed, and with the language with the food, when we don't like someone's food. And the very thing that you shared about doing a prayer even for your food, and even the prayer for another person's food, that was just amazing. So that's a beautiful take that I'm taking with myself. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Dr. Nevedita. Please unmute yourself. Yes.
Hi, Lars. Hi, Anu. Hi, everybody. It was a wonderful session, amazing, and I so resonated with every bit of what you said, because I believe that I'm a doctor, I'm an eye surgeon by profession, but for me, this is a profession of healing. It's a profession of well-being, of wellness, and it has to be holistic. So I so resonated with every word of yours, Lars, because we are not here to drug people. Drugs and medicines are not the answer. People want quick fixes, but I'm sorry, they need to learn to go beyond them. Beyond this, learn to question their own stories, the garbage that they're carrying inside. And I resonated so much with it, so much, because I'm practicing, Western medicine. I'm an allopath doctor, but trust me, my heart is all in energy medicine and every bit of what you say. So thank you for an amazing, lovely session. The meditation was out of the world, very grounding, very energizing, and thank you so much.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Sarita, would you like to say something?
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a absolute peaceful meditation. I am not been sleeping since last week peacefully, but I slept in between. So thank you. I'm feeling very recharged. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Brilliant. Amita, would you like to share something?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful session. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful meditation. I really feel relaxed, and I think my mind is all free. That there is nothing in my head. It's all happiness.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Matthew, would you like to share? Maybe I'm not speaking the name properly. Meti, would you like to share? Okay, let's go to the next person. Seema. Seema, would you like to share? Okay, let's go further. Lata. Lata, would you like?
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Lars. It was a beautiful session, and that meditation, we've done this in the past, but your voice and that line, there's an empty space behind your eyes. I am completely blown by that. And the way you kept saying that, I found that empty space. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Wonderful. Dr. Rashi, any sharing?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. It's amazing. Thank you.
Wonderful. Dr. Manorama?
Good evening. The session was beautiful, and I learned for the first time I could learn like the session could be so simple. It can be delivered in a very simple way, and the voice quality should be very. The voice quality was very peaceful. I mean, every bit of the session was so peaceful, and I learned a lot from this session, especially meditation followed by EFT. That was amazing. I mean, that gave me a new perspective. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Saina. If I'm saying your name right, Sienna. Would you like to share something? Okay. Renu, would you like to share something?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. It was an awesome session. I'm really feeling very calm right now. But during the meditation, my body was, very feeling very discomfort. I don't know why. Like maybe because of the sitting posture or something. Like what can I do, to correct it or do it in a better way?
When you feel uncomfortable during the session, start tapping.
Okay.
Go in, scan your body. Where's the discomfort in your body? Focus on the discomfort and tap on your body. Okay?
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay. Thank you. And one more question, like at times, like there's a situation when we are very angry, maybe with ourselves or maybe with some other person. Like in that situation, basically, how we can, check on keep a check on our language. Like it becomes difficult for me. I'm talking about myself. Like I'm not being able to control my anger and myself. And when I'm angry, I don't know on which mode I, go. I'm not able to control.
Thank you for being so candid and honest.
I have a secret from India. It's a pillow, and it's made in India, and it's filled with kapok fibers.
Okay.
And when I get angry and I'm afraid that it could get out of control, I use it as a screaming pillow, like this.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
So get yourself a small screaming pillow.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much.
I will put the recipe into the how to use it.
Yes, that would be nice. Divya, any sharing? Okay, Sanskriti, any sharing?
Feeling so calm and rooted. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Shamla?
Ma'am, can I share? Divya?
Yeah. Hello, Anu.
Hi.
Thank you. Like it was a great session. Also, the best part that I liked is the screaming pillow. Yeah, I'm going to use that. And I actually was not out of that meditation. I am so relaxed. I don't want to speak much, but it was awesome. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Dr. Nutan? Dr. Nutan?
Ma'am, can I share? Divya?
Yes, please. Go ahead, Divya.
Yeah, ma'am. Even I dozed off in the meditation part because I'm an early sleeper. But the EFT was totally rejuvenating. And two more things I would like to share. is that in our yogic concepts, what they say is that the eye space between the eyes, it's like, because of stress, because of the day-to-day actions, everything we are, protruding forward. So in the meditative practices, what we do is like we try to put, even when we are lying down or supine on the floor, imagine that your eyeballs are going towards the gravity. The nasal cavity is going towards the gravity. So everything inwards is called as Shavasana for the eyes.
Wonderful.
It's
Beautiful
just
sharing.
you'll just imagine. I mean, I can just ask you to do it right now. Imagine that there is a two threads on the corner of your eyeballs, the pupil, the black portion, and then just imagine that you're just pushing them backwards. They are attached centrally, like it's going as a V shape, and you go taking it back, and you'll immediately feel that REM, which happens immediately when we are in stress or whatever anxiety, that it'll just cease.
Wonderful.
And before sleeping every night, what you should do is retract your eyeballs inside. Imagine those two strings, pulling them back, and then sleep. And then see the difference in the quality of sleep. So that's Shavasana for the eyes.
Wonderful. I shall try it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You can do it right away, and then you'll feel that movement just ceases and you get that peace in the eyes. Otherwise, it's always the eyelids, because they say the eyes are the most sensitive parts of your sense organs.
Absolutely.
And in fact, there are some drops which would, erode the tongue. If there are some eye drops, if you put them on the tongue, they would erode the tongue. But the eyes are capable of using those eye drops. Nothing
Wow.
happens to the eye.
Wow.
And the second thing is that these are all parasympathetic reactions.
Mm-hmm.
So even when we say start your yogic practice with a gentle smile, like you put the corners of your mouth on each side, pull away, So what happens is that the tongue goes and sits on the floor of the lower palate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's a place, it's like a sihasan or a throne for your tongue. And then that restlessness of the tongue also doesn't happen. Otherwise, you'll always see when you're in anxiety, the tongue will be up on the upper palate.
Yeah.
Or it'll be on the side. Observe. And when you are in that peace, and you just smile, the tongue goes and sits on the lower palate. So that's again a parasympathetic reaction.
Wonderful. Wonderful sharing. Thank you, Divya, for that. Let's go to Shahina.
Anu, may I? This is Nutan here.
Yes, Nutan. Dr. Nutan, please go ahead.
Lars, you are amazing.
He knows that.
Yes, Anu, he's just amazing. I was like,
Your voice. Nutan, your voice is doing the pong music.
But now just I'm awakened, and then I would like to share lots of gratitude and love to you and Lars. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Alka, any sharing?
Hi Anu, Shahina here.
Yes, hi Shaina.
Last, thank you very much for a lovely meditation. So, like everybody else, even I was feeling very peaceful, calm, and I was dozing off. But if I'm not hearing your voice for a long time, I'm forcing myself to wake up and check, have I logged off from the call or is it still going on? So 2-3 times I have to do that. Then I realize, okay, this is the pace we are going at. And then I was completely enjoying the meditation. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Alka, any sharing? Okay, have I missed out anybody? Hopefully not. I think Benaifer, any sharing before we go to the cards? Lars, you have any sharing?
I have a small video from two children, two immortal souls talking together, telepathic. So I have a small video and I will put in the Facebook link. And it's a video you can watch later. It's a beautiful, beautiful video, which will be wonderful to see when you need some loving inspiration about what's going on here on Earth right now.
Wonderful. Lars, would you like me to add you to the WhatsApp group? Because everybody's there on that WhatsApp group, right? From Helena to Dr. Kwesi and I would like you to be there. But I don't know your number, so you'll have to send me your number. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could put it on maybe the Facebook rather than here. Thank you. Benifer, are you ready with the cards, my dear? We
Yes.
get wonderful. Would you like to first
Ready.
share how you felt, Lars?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lars. I loved your meditation. And I was practically asleep. I had to actually go and get fresh so I could do the card reading. But
Wonderful.
amazing. Even what you spoke about from start to finish was too good and really interesting. Very good. Thank you so much. And thank you, Anu, really for getting such wonderful people. That it's like amazing knowledge sharing. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
They are my family. They're my
Yes.
friends. And so are you. Benifer, I am in deep gratitude for what you've been doing for the last few days.
Thank you. I'm happy to help.
I would really like you to pull some cards for Lars because he's
Yes.
done so much for us today. And I would like to return it lovingly back to him with, yes, thank you.
Lars, may I pull out some angel cards for you?
Yes, please.
Thank you for the number.
So I have pulled out two cards for you. The first is Angel Bethany, who's come in reverse. She says that when you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as a massage, sea salt bath, or a pedicure. So that is come in the reverse, means you're not looking after yourself. So go ahead and get a pedicure or a massage done. Though I'm sure everything is in lockdown, so you'll have to do it yourself.
Wonderful.
The second card is Archangel Gabriel, which is there of creative writing. And Archangel Gabriel says, make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen an article or a book. So maybe it is time for you to come out with your own book. So all of us will benefit from that. So please go ahead. Superb. So one more.
One
So
more.
start. Yes. So that is what they are telling you, to go ahead and write another book.
Wonderful. Let's also read cards for Kristin, our guest from Denmark.
Yes. May I see her face so I can...
Kristin, can you say hi to her? Can you say hi to Benifer, please? Thank you.
I just
Hello,
wanted to
it
do
is
my
me.
latest book.
Ah, wow.
My latest book is called MetaHealth in Danish.
Very beautiful.
And it's 270 pages with all the different organ symptoms and emotional connections. So it's a massive piece of work. And we have been working on it for 6 years here in Denmark.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
The next version will be online.
Okay, Kristin, can you show your face, please, to Benifer? Can you see her?
No. If she can just say a hi, then I will...
Can you just say a hi?
Hello. Yes, hello, it is me, Kirsten.
Yes. Hi.
Okay, hi.
You have any question in mind?
No.
So I'll just generally... Okay, so what I'll do is then I'll pick up angel cards for you.
Lars, my mom is watching the show today.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Okay.
Okay, so I've got two cards for you. One is Angel Bridget, You can see the card. So
Yes.
she is telling you caution is warranted. Look deeper into the situation before proceeding further. So if you have something in mind that you want to do, then just wait for some time, proper research on what you're going to do, and then only go ahead with that.
Thank
And
you.
most welcome. The second card is Archangel Michael, who is telling you to remember who you are. And his message is that you are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. So always remember that.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that's the message for you.
Wonderful. Let's go to for Ashish. Ashish, could you say a hi loudly so Binay can see your face?
Hi,
Hi,
Vinafar.
Ashish. Hi. Any question you have in mind?
Yes.
Yes. So you want to ask me or you want to ask the question in your mind? I'm okay with that also.
The question is related to my work.
Okay. What would you like to know? Anything specific?
Yeah, like I want to do something when I want to know the time, like when it will become or.
Okay. Okay. So it's showing around 3 to 6 months it's going to take. And you will get help from a lot of people, especially emotional help. You need to be focused emotionally more in what you're going to do. So just be strong emotionally and things will sail through. And try and you need to be emotionally settled more so that your creative side comes up. So once your emotional aspect is balanced, your creativity automatically rises, and that's when it helps you in the work that you're doing.
Okay.
And somebody will enter your life who's going to be a very strong support for you emotionally. That is going to help you further enhance your work. But it's going to be there in around 3 to 6 months.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Let's do reading for Kusum from Calcutta.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, Kusum.
You can do some reading for me, maybe what's ahead, 3 months ahead for me?
Sure.
Maybe something.
In any particular area of life or in general?
I think I will go for something related to with my husband, maybe future, what my future is with my husband.
Okay.
In the sense, relationship wise.
Okay. It is going to get better. Right now, the phase you're going through, it's like, you're going through a phase which may be bad, you feel right now, which is not going to last. So you need to work on your relationship, and it's going to get better.
Okay.
But it's showing that you'll have to work on your relationship.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much. You'll have to mute yourself. Kusum, darling, you'll have to mute yourself. Last one person and then for the whole group. The last person, I think we'll go with Renu, who was talking about anger. And Lars showed her how to take care of anger. Maybe we could help her out there. Thank you.
Yes. May I just see your face, please, Renu, if possible?
Renu, could you say a hi to us?
Yeah, hi, ma'am.
Thank you, Renu.
Renu, you have any question in particular or just
no.
So Renu, I picked up 2 cards and both have come reversed for you. So basically you need to be more focused in career also, and in general in life also. So try and be happy with what you have, and happiness will automatically come to you.
Thank
So
you.
that is one, and the other one is try to focus on the things that you really like to do, and don't go haywire with a lot of things. So the more focused you are, the more easier your life will be.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's do the last card reading for Denmark and India together.
So Denmark is a really bright card. It's the sun, a lot of creativity, a lot of happiness. India is still not up to the mark that I got. It's basically the poverty consciousness that is there in India, where people are doing it to themselves.
Right.
It's not that we don't have money, it's not that we don't have the freedom, but it's basically misuse of the facilities that we have, which is making our country go even below the mark that we should have reached.
Okay. Thank you so much. And Binaifa for the whole group, like we do it always.
Yes.
The whole group, that is this group today that we've met together.
Yes. So like yesterday, we got Angel Francesca again. She's saying, what do you desire right now? Visualize it, and and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. So that's her.
Wow.
And the other card I picked up was Archangel Azrael, who is saying, I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal.
Wonderful.
So you can just focus, and all of us will get the help that we need and the love and support that we need of the angels.
Okay, wonderful. So this whole group has the angels around them.
Yes,
This whole group
100%.
couldn't have been without angels, with Lars today being so kind and doing what he did today. And with him being around, with Binaifa being around, with so many of you being around over here, shows me that definitely love is there, support is there, and there is no room for anything else other than love, love, and love. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you. Thank you
Will we
so much.
meet again tomorrow?
Yes.
And oh my God, Lars, you're beautiful. Will we meet again tomorrow? And oh my God, hi, how are you? Oh my God. So goodbye. See you guys tomorrow again. We have a very nice session tomorrow with the TEDx speaker. She is doing something with parenting, with how to deal with stuff with the kids. So a very much required session, yes. Tomorrow night at 9:30 India time. All of you, let's meet again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lars, and thank you, Anu.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Wonderful. Thank you.